It is a treat to be here as well. And let's get you the starting lineups powered by American Ethanol. We told you it's a true freshman setter, of course, for Nebraska with Nicklin Hames. Kenzie Maloney, an excellent libero. She's one of the senior starters, along with the All-American Michaela Fecke. And for Penn State on the other side, they've got the veteran, the fifth-year senior setter, and Brianna Weiskercher, and then a lot of freshman faces in that starting group for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup tonight. You know, it's not always the best team on paper that wins. You've got to execute at critical moments of the game. We'll see which team comes out with a W tonight.
They pack about 8,000 into this place, and it is filled to the brim once again for the Huskers and the Nittany Lions. Second meeting of the season between these two. The first, like we told you earlier, 3 weeks ago in State College. Audrey, you were there. It was a slugfest. 5 sets. Penn State got the win.
Yeah, and you know what? The thing that was incredible was statistically on paper, you would think it wasn't a great match. It was a fantastic match. Nia Reed was huge for Penn State with 20 kills. So, you know, we'll see what team comes out tonight slugging away. But based on warm-ups, boy, they were just thumping the ball. It was amazing to see them hitting and warming up so well.
So here we go from the Devaney Sports Center. Nicklin Hames, the freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee, with Nebraska in rotation 1. 9 of the last 12 national titles between these two programs. And Penn State with a good start. There is Nia Reed. She's the redshirt senior from New Jersey, who had the 20 kills in the first meeting.
And Nia Reed just goes up, sees 2 blocks in front of her, puts it cross court, but a good pass to start off for the Penn State.
Kendall White serves it at Fecke. A bump set from Kenzie Maloney. There's Jazz Sweet, the sophomore from Kansas. On the slide, cross-court shot is out for Penn State. Russ Rose is in his 40th season at the helm. 7 national titles to his name, more than those 1,200 career wins with Penn State. Lexi Sun behind the line to serve. Sophomore, the transfer from Texas. Back row attack from Johnny Parker, one of the freshmen for the Nittany Lions.
Well, Johnny Parker goes and swings big, clips the net. The net plays in her favor, and she ends up getting a great point there. Sloppy point, but a good point for her team.
There's the 5th-year senior setter, Brianna Weiskercher serving. Best server on the team. A back set to Parker. And the point to Penn State. Well, John Cook is in his 19th season here at Nebraska. First year was 2000, so it was the second year that this sellout streak began midway through that 2001 season, and now 250 consecutive, like we told you. Service error from Weiskercher.
Back to serve for your Huskers, number 11, Kenzie Maloney.
We said it earlier, these teams are coming off losses over the weekend. Nebraska fell in 4 sets against an exceptional Illinois team. And Penn State lost at home against Purdue.
That was a tough loss for Penn State. Boy, that last set was just a battle. But let's take a look at this nice swing here in the middle. We'll take a look at who's passing a lot of balls already in this first set. It's number 43, Taylor Leith for Penn State. So Nebraska clearly going after her on serve receive.
That's what a lot of teams have done against Leith in serve receive. And there's Leith with the kill down the line. That's her first kill. She's the grad transfer who started her career at North Carolina.
Let's take a look at this great dig by the bro for Penn State. And then a nice line shot there. Hames was in position but couldn't handle that ball that was high.
And a service error, the second one for the Nittany Lions. That one from the freshman Jenna Hampton out of Tampa. Megan Miller's a true freshman as well. She's from Alexandria, Indiana. And she has stepped into a more prominent serving role the last 3 matches, but she commits a service error.
So a lot of sloppy errors here for Nebraska. They haven't been able to really control defense in the early part of this first set. A few service errors. We saw a few service errors already for Penn State. So both teams kind of feeling each other out here.
Similar feel to the first set when they met 3 weeks ago in State College. Michaela Fecky scores off the block.
Fecky finds herself one-on-one with a nice tempo set by Hames. Take a look at one-on-one there. And Parker for Penn State gets used on the block.
And now Fecky back to serve. Senior from West Point, Iowa. Weiskercher sets the middle and finds one of the freshman middles, Caitlin Horde, the #3 recruit in the country. She's from Lexington, Kentucky.
Well, a great pass by Penn State allows the setter to run middle. Horde is just a huge physical kid at 6'4". She gets the ball, she's going to hit angles, she's going to tip some in the middle, and she scores beautifully on that play.
There's that big jump serve from Johnny Parker. And she can't get to it on the tip from Lexi Sun on the left side.
Well, I think what's really important for Nebraska is that they mix up shots so that Penn State doesn't get in a defensive rhythm. There you see Lexi Sun with an experienced shot there. She sees the defense playing deep, puts one nicely over the block.
Now Haley Densberger serves. Sophomore from Malcolm, Nebraska. Tough for Taylor Leaf to handle on the set from Weiskercher.
So when you're trying to push tempo, when you have a good pass and you're trying to put that ball fast to the pin, it's super important that the speed is the same every time, the distance from the net is the same. That time a timing error on the setter's part.
Timing better this time to the middle once again, and Weiskercher in rhythm to begin.
Gotta like when Penn State is able to run middle. It means the passing game is on. Take a look at that shot.
We flashed the numbers at you for Caitlin Horde. 3rd in the conference in hitting percentage, just below 400. Nittany Lions by 2. Nicklin Hames on a back set to Callie Schwarzenbach, freshman middle for the Huskers.
Well, Callie Schwarzenbach has really, we've seen her develop over the course of this Big Ten season. What a fantastic play she has here, running a slide. The pass took Hames off the net. 10-foot line, kind of difficult to run that play in that situation, but Schwarzenbacher scores.
She's been great as a blocker. They would love to get more offense out of her. Big dig in the back and over dig from Fecky, and a dump from Weiskercher.
Weiskercher showing her experience there. She has 2 hitters. One's going to go the slide route, one's staying outside, so she's got plenty of room. Right in the middle of the court, aggressive attack by her.
Kendall White serves. Hames to Lexi Sun. Her 2nd swing. Parker. Maloney gets to it. Nia Reed this time, and Fecky digs. Sun got it over the net off the tape. Longest rally so far in set 1. White digs it. Cross court dug by Maloney. Fecky out of the back row. Now Parker tries. A bump set from Maloney to Lexi Sun. And the point to Penn State.
Well, that's what Big Ten volleyball is all about right there. Fantastic defensive gets on both sides of the net. Look at Maloney sprawling out for that ball. Take a look at her handling that hard shot by Penn State. I love the defense. When big kids can play defense, we're seeing the setter there contributing a great dig for Nebraska. All around great play. Rally ends with a hitting error.
What a way early on here in set 1. Jazz Sweet for the Huskers.
Well, Jazz Sweet responding so well, taking that ball, wiping it off the block. As a lefty, it's hard to swing from the left side, but she has to do it in that rotation.
Well, on that long rally, Kendall White picked up her 2nd dig of the match. She's at 1,300 for her career. By the end of the night, she's got a chance to be 5th all-time in Penn State program history in digs.
Reed just slamming that ball down the line. Nebraska's right side blocker, Jazz Sweet, kind of late getting out there, so you have to respect Nia Reed on that left pin and line up nose to nose with her.
Jazz Sweet, another swing, and this one long from the sophomore. Crowd coming to life in Lincoln with Penn State up by 4. Ames goes right back to Sweet, cross court, an excellent shot.
Yeah, that is such a sharp cross-court shot, like you said, Mike. You know, the right side blocker has to try to dig a little bit, come off the net quickly, and make a move on that ball. That's Johnny Parker playing the right side for Penn State.
That's a good sign early on for Sweet, too, who struggled in the first meeting against Penn State. Ames sets the middle and finds Lauren Stivrins. That's her first kill tonight, the redshirt sophomore from Arizona.
Yeah, when you send a free ball over the net, you're in system. Setter has all kinds of options, and the middle's going to be one-on-one. So what a great attack there by Stivrins in the middle.
She has been sizzling recently in her last 5 matches. That's why you see her hitting percentage so high for the season. Ames goes back to her. Weiskercher sets Parker, dug by Sun. Bump set from Maloney to her classmate Fecky, kept alive by Maloney off the block. Reed is blocked. What a sequence for Nebraska.
Wow. And the place goes nuts. Penn State thought they had won that point. They thought that ball was down, but great coverage by Nebraska, keeping the ball alive, and then big time stop at the net.
How about the coverage from Kenzie Maloney? Digs this one. Ames to Fecky. And Weiskercher looking for her teammates around her, and Nebraska has pulled even.
And just like that, momentum has shifted Nebraska's way. Big communication error there by Penn State. Garrell was running something behind the setter. Weiskercher was calling something in front of the setter. And you know, as a setter, you've got to know that your middle is up and ready to go. And if they're not, you can't predetermine where you're going to set the ball. You've got to feel that they're up, ready to swing at the ball. If they're not, you got to dish it to your pins.
And now Weiskercher has had Garrell around her in the past, but there has been some shuffling as far as the middles go for Penn State the last couple weeks. Maloney serves with Nebraska on a 4-0 run, and Fecky slams it home.
Kendall White for Penn State is getting worked over on serve receive. Typically, she is the strongest passer for Penn State, but right now Nebraska is going after her, and she cannot handle the serve right now.
Good pass from her this time, and down the line, Nia Reed, her 3rd kill.
You know, when Nia Reed is front row, you just got to hone in on where she is. If she's on the right pin, you've got to kind of commit and head that way, especially when Penn State needs a point. They seem to go to her in those critical moments.
All even at 13. Hampton serves. And an error. That's the 3rd one for Penn State here in set 1. Hampton had 3 of them in that loss we told you about Saturday against Purdue at Rec Hall. Now Miller. Weiskercher finds Leith for the kill.
Still, number 43, Taylor Leith, point, Penn State. Serving to the main line, number 11, Horde.
Nebraska really serving deep on Penn State. And, you know, when you're getting served deep, you've got to move your feet, and tracking that ball is so important right out of the server's hands. Well done by Penn State.
Bump set from Hampton outside for Parker, and it's blocked. Lauren Stivrins for the Huskers.
Stivrins clamping down on the net. She's doing what she does best, sealing the net, big point.
How good is this in Lincoln? The Titans battling it out at the Devaney Sports Center. Well, these are the last 5 matches for both these teams, Penn State and Nebraska, who, like we told you, are both coming off losses on Saturday, but they had all week to gear up for this weekend.
Yeah, and you know, they watch film, they try to address the specific areas that need work, but boy, Maloney came to play tonight, didn't she?
4 digs so far. She's been all over the place, and she was right in the middle of that excellent play that changed things for the Huskers.
Absolutely. You know, a good bro frustrates hitters because they rob them of kills. She has displayed a ton of courage, quick reflexes. She's one of the best in the conference.
Senior from Louisville, whose dig numbers have just been spiking up recently for the Huskers in the back row. 15-14 Huskers out of the timeout. Lexi Sun is blocked.
Well, you just feel like this is the way it's going to go. Big battles at the net. These out-of-system swings is something John Cook said his team needs to get better at. They need to try to execute a little bit better, not hit low seam on those 5-and-5 sets.
We see what Sun's going up against. Penn State averages nearly 3 blocks per set, right among the country's leaders. Nice job getting to that one by Jenna Hampton. Stivrins on the slide, off the block.
Stivrins' speed on the approach, you cannot deny. Take a look at this heads-up play by Penn State, keeping the ball alive, but a free ball over the net, and then Stivrins' speed on the approach and using the block. I really like the way that that kid moves laterally. So talented.
She has 53 kills in her last 5 matches coming into tonight. Kept up momentarily by Penn State, but the point to Nebraska.
Yeah, Lexi Sun was celebrating like it was over. We already saw that that's not the wisest thing to do, but that's what Lexi Sun brings to the floor. As a left side hitter, you're also blocking the slide approach, and you know, the timing, the placement is so important, the placement of your feet, so she does a really good job of sealing the net on that left pin.
So Nebraska by 2 with Densberger serving. Weiskercher sets the middle, dug by Fecky. Haynes pushes it out to Sun, into the corner.
Well, let's give some credit to Michaela Fecky laying out in middle back, getting a dig. Take a look at how she extends to her right to play that ball and keeps it alive, gives her team an opportunity to score.
You know, it was a loss for Nebraska on Saturday against Illinois. The Huskers had 99 digs in the match. There's Sun again. Good bump set from White, and it sets up a Penn State kill to get back within 2.
Well, we always talk about the hitting and blocking, but the defense, Johnny Parker keeping that ball alive. She takes that ball high, just gets a touch on the ball, and then a great ball there, 5-and-5 set by the bro, Kendall White for Penn State.
3 kills for Taylor Leaf. Junior Emily Shora in to serve. Aims to the dump and gets the point for the Huskers.
Nicklin Haynes, one of the impressive things about her, she has taken complete ownership of this team. She's such a fighter, very competitive. She came in and she was just like, yo, this is my team. Watch me do my thing.
Big shoes to fill, that has been well documented. And of the top 10 teams in the country, Nebraska's the only one with a true freshman setter. Hames serves. Horde rises up. Maloney tries to get to it at the bench, and she does. Kenzie Maloney's been all over the place. Bump set from Hames. Back row attack. Here's Sun, dug by White. Off the overdig. Back out to Sun. Weiskercher to Parker. Coverage off the block by Penn State. Read on a tip denied. Maloney tosses over the free ball. Blocked! Schwarzenbach caps it.
And this is what makes this place so hard to play in. The crowd is going nuts, appreciating Kenzie Maloney's effort to keep the ball alive. Wow, great rally, unbelievable.
Well, Russ Rose takes the timeout. This is a BTN standout presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
You know, she actually catapults over the chair there, and it takes her a while to get back in the play. Play's going on. She's not back on the court yet. And then sealing it at the net, the freshman, Schwarzenbach. Take a look at how she denies Penn State that point. One-on-one. Nicely done.
Again, even after the loss to Illinois on Saturday, the head coach, John Cook, he said he's proud of the way that his group competed out there. They were doing this sort of thing all over the floor.
Yeah, you know, when you play teams in this conference, you know, it's going to go battling back and forth. The takeaway for Nebraska is that they didn't really get beat up by Illinois. They were competing hard, and that's what we're seeing again tonight. Those defensive moves, boy, they are playing so well in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, so much has been made about Nebraska. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They've lost 5 of their last 7. All 5 of those losses against top 10 teams in the country. But at the same time, there have been so many sets within those matches that have been pretty close on.
Yeah, and so that's the thing, you know, you can't get too down. This conference, you're going to have some highs, you're going to have some lows. You just got to hang in there and compete. A win tonight over Penn State would be huge for Nebraska and would get them back on track.
Huskers by 4 on a 5-1 run. Weiskercher tried to go to the dump. She scores, and Penn State's within 3. There's Kendall White ready to serve. Second team All-American last year. Hames to Sun. Nice swing by Lexi Sun, who's up to 3 kills. She's already had 13 swings tonight.
You know, you got to like her energy. She's got such a positive disposition. You know, we see her big smiles after that kill, but even when things aren't going her way, she's not easily rattled. Very talented young lady.
Like Reed, she had 20 kills in that match 3 weeks ago in State College between these two. Taylor Leaf out of the back row for Penn State.
Well, Penn State gets that point, but you really get the feel that Nebraska is going after White, the bro for Penn State on serve receive. And she's been up and down a little bit, but delivers a good pass on that last play.
And that is a change from how most teams have gone after Penn State in serve receive. You see Serena Gray checks in, freshman middle. Top 5 recruit in the country as well, after Tori Gurrell got the start tonight. Another service error. That's 4 of them for the Nittany Lions.
And take a look there. Weiskercher communicating, calling plays, hand signals, telling each swing what she wants them to run on serve receive.
Penn State out of system. And Johnny Parker for the Nittany Lions.
Well, it's a good sign when you can better the ball. The pass wasn't great. Weiskercher got her feet to the ball, bettered the ball, and then the swing on the outside. Parker manages to tool and use a block that's not well placed by Nebraska. So that is what we call in the game bettering the ball. Well done.
It has Penn State back within 3. Hampton goes at Fecky. To the middle for Fecky, coming out of the back.
Well, the speed of this set is very impressive, and you can see there's no block. It's almost like a quick coming out of the backcourt, and when she sees that there's an angle open, Fecky is going to rip it as she does right there.
We're going to be tracking it all night, the hitting percentage of Fecky and how Nebraska fares because of it. So we started the night talking about with Nebraska. Good answer from the Nittany Lions, back within 3.
Well, Leith has such a high point of contact. She stands at 6'3", and she jumps so well, completely extends her arm on that swing. She's got a variety of shots, so that time she goes to the middle right back of the court that was open for Nebraska.
Maloney tracks down another one near the front row. Free ball from Sun. Weiskercher sets the middle for another kill for Caitlin Horde. That's her 3rd.
Horde comes in aggressively with her approach, getting that arm back, so she is a setting option there. You're going to see a free ball coming over. Big kill for Penn State.
Nebraska takes the timeout up by 2. Number 8 Nebraska up by 2 on number 7 Penn State. Four blocks for Nebraska to 1 for Penn State. 4 service errors for Penn State to 1 for Nebraska. Those are the 2 numbers of note here.
Yes, absolutely. Hitting percentage exactly the same. Both teams currently hitting .250.
Stiveren's on the slide, gets the touch and the point, and it brings up set point for Nebraska.
That's her 3rd kill so far in this set. She's hitting .667.
And Russ Rose wants to use his 2nd timeout here in set 1.
You want to try to ice that server. You want to make sure that your serve-receive group is very well aware of getting their feet behind the ball, getting up a good pass here, and getting a great offensive swing on the ball.
Hey, Sunday on BTN, we bring you an exciting lineup when we crown 2 Big Ten champions. First up, the Women's Soccer Championship at noon. Then the Field Hockey Championship takes over at 2 p.m. Then we cap things off with men's soccer quarterfinal action at Indiana. The Hoosiers will face the winner of Ohio State and Northwestern. You can catch it Sunday on BTN. Busy weekend on BTN. We've got some more volleyball again tomorrow, powered by American Ethanol, but this is the entree coming early this weekend, and Audrey Flood's lived up to it so far.
Well, absolutely. You know, not only the power at the net, great blocking, the defensive gets. We're seeing the big hitters in the front court doing a great job defensively in the back court. Fecky and Leith really leading the charge for both of their teams.
When we talk about recent losses for both these teams, of course, these are traditional powers. They're still in there in the top 10. BYU, Stanford, Minnesota. That top 3 has stayed pretty steady this season.
Yeah, you know, Minnesota is such a great team. Top to bottom, they got swings. They got the best setter in the conference. They've got great defensive players, and they're coached by Hugh McCutcheon. So, you know, everybody is really looking at Minnesota as a contender for the national championship.
Well, here in Lincoln, it's set point for Nebraska with Fecky serving. Goes out White again. On the outside, Fecky digs. Hames right at the antenna. And so the point to Penn State to get back within 2.
Well, Russ Rose has got to be pleased in the just courage of his team, getting a good pass, getting a good swing, and getting the point out of the timeout.
Johnny Parker's got the big jump serve, the freshman from Ohio. Megan Miller in there, beside Fecky in the back. Sun is blocked. Caitlin Horde Just the second block in set one for Penn State.
You know, and this is that critical moment where you want to see what your team is made of. Are kids going to make the big play? Penn State's block making a huge play there.
And this is what John Cook has talked about. When his team has gotten in the 20-point range in a set, they've got to find a way to finish. He loved the effort. He was proud of the way they competed over the weekend and has been with this group, but it's about finishing sets for a team that you see has dropped 4 out of its last 5 matches.
Yeah, I think some players just in general can either get tight in these situations or they embrace these situations. And so at this point, you know, what Hames wants to see is a hitter look at her and say, give me the ball. I will score this one and I will get the big point when we need it. So, you know, right now, Cook is just trying to relax his group. This is, again, a critical point. Needs to get a good pass, lots of communication, and try to get a big swing on the ball.
Well, we remind you we've got Big Ten women's volleyball powered by American Ethanol coming up on Wednesday next week. These Cornhuskers will be back in action, squaring off with Bon Szymanski's Iowa Hawkeyes, 8 p.m. Eastern time here on BTN and the Fox Sports app. So 24-23 in set one. Nebraska has a third set point. Johnny Parker serves again. Goes at Miller. Sun. Weiskercher sets outside for Leaf. Bump set from Maloney for Lexi Sun. And she misses the mark. We are level at 24.
Well, the key there was Penn State getting a good positive touch on Sun's first swing. They forced her to extend the rally. Here's that 5-5 set, and she hits it wide down the line.
Parker, a service error. The 5th for the Nittany Lions. This is similar to when Nebraska went on the road just a couple weekends ago to Minnesota with service errors in set one. Set point with Densberger serving. Weiskercher outside for Leaf. And we are level once again at 25.
And they are just taking swings at each other, big punches on both sides of the net. But in comes the freshman for Nebraska, Schwarzenbach, a great blocker. We'll see who they go to, though, offensively on serve receive.
Taylor Leith serves. Becky finds Hames. Schwarzenbach tried to cut it across the net at that sharp angle, and Penn State by 1.
And this is where Hames, her inexperience shows a little bit. That's not a set that you want to run a slide on, although Sun made that error, so she's kind of limited and trying to guess who's going to get that kill for her.
First set point for Penn State, and Sun rips it right at White, and Sun is off the mark, and Penn State takes set one.
A great comeback win for Penn State. Lexi Sun needing to regroup here. Some critical errors by her on swinging on that left pin.
5 errors. Penn State, meanwhile, warded off 4 Nebraska set points.
It's a very strange match in terms of hitting percentage. And, you know, Russ Rose was just commenting to us on that and just how it was so skewed one way or the other, and he's never really seen his team hit low percentages like that. But nonetheless, they came out with a W.
Well, and tonight Penn State hit 271 in set one. Nebraska just below 150.
Yeah, Lexi Sun hitting negative right now, and the sign of a truly good team is when you have 2 left sides that are contributing good numbers. Oftentimes sets, matches are won on the shoulders of your left side hitters. So Sun, it'll be interesting to see what she's made of, if she can turn that game around for herself. 3 kills, 5 errors on 18 swings. So we'll see what she does here in the second set.
And if you're Penn State, of course, you're thrilled that you withstood making 5 service errors and facing a few set points for Nebraska to come back and win that on the road. We showed you Penn State won that first meeting. Nebraska was number 5 at the time. Penn State was number 9. Nittany Lions this week, number 7. Nebraska, number 8. As Taylor Leith is ready to serve to begin set 2. Bump set from Haynes. Nia Reed, dug by Maloney. Nia Reed once again, and Fecky digs it. Sun with a good answer to begin set 2.
Now Fecky needed, or I'm sorry, Sun needed that kill. Fecky, what a great defensive get here, extending forward to play that ball. There you see Sun inside the court and drops her thumb, hits a nice cross-court shot.
4th kill for the sophomore from Encinitas, California. Penn State sets the middle and gets the point off the touch. Fourth kill for Caitlin Horde. One of those 2 freshman middles. They also have Tori Gurrell, who had to start some when Horde missed a couple matches, including the first meeting against Nebraska. Jazz Sweet off the mark.
Yeah, very difficult angle, especially for a lefty when that ball is coming over your shoulder, or behind your head, over your shoulder, across your body. You got to swing, and so she hits that one wide.
I showed you the hitting percentages. The first matchup, set 1, was where there were so many errors on both sides. Schwarzenbach for Nebraska to pull even early on, her 2nd kill.
And you see Gurrell in there in the middle for Penn State again, blocking against Schwarzenbach. That time, Schwarzenbacher goes over her, scores on that cross-court shot.
Lexi Sun, right at Leith. Nia Reed winds up.
What's so impressive is just the speed of her approach, the pass there, low, quick tempo, and then whammo. Just she sees that that block is giving her a little bit of cross court. The velocity of her approach and arm swing, really impressive.
Followed by another service error for Penn State, this one from Weiskercher. Now Kenzie Maloney for the Huskers. Weiskercher, Reed's tip, kept up by Fecky. Outside for Johnny Parker.
You know, I've always been a fan of Johnny Parker. Her versatility is really impressive here. She swings big, cross court on that one. You know, great ball control kind of kid. Just tough kid.
She had the ankle tweak over the weekend.
Yeah, really like the way she plays.
She's been back in there. Saw her practicing at full go earlier today for Penn State. Nice reaction by Parker at the net. Gurrell as well. Sun from the back to Fecky. Weiskercher to Parker, off the block. Lauren Stivrins.
You know, Stivrins is just, you know, so physical, so big, but she reads really, really well. She takes off, and you can see that she's in perfect distance away from the net so that she can get her arms, her hands over the net. So I like the body position, and I like how she reaches and seals that net.
She has contributed to 3 of Nebraska's 5 blocks. White with coverage off the block. Now Taylor Leith. Weiskercher to Parker again. Bump set Maloney for Fecky. Right at Kendall White. It's kept up and set over by Parker. Weiskercher gave up the body. Kept up again by the Lions. This Husker crowd has been ready to explode in this rally. And then it's blocked.
Well, let's take a look at defense keeping the ball alive. What hustle we see on both sides of the net. A pancake there. Let's take a look at how it finishes with a huge block there by the setter for Nebraska, Hames.
Had some excellent rallies so far in this match. Hames to the outside for Fecky. Over dig from Hampton. Stiveren's on the slide. Fecky again with a line shot for the kill.
You know, with these long rallies, conditioning comes into play. You want to jump as high on your third, fourth swing or block as you did in the first one of the rally. So conditioning huge here. Fecky going up big, strong legs on her, hitting that line shot.
Russ Rose is up off his perch having a conversation. The Nebraska bench saying, let's get things going. Huskers on a 3-0 run until the service error from Megan Miller.
Back to serve for the Nittany Lions, number 11, Tori Gurrell.
There's Tori Gurrell, redshirt junior from Ontario. Stivrens scores for the Huskers, restores the lead to 2.
Well, Stivrens has been so good offensively and defensively. Big kill for her. That's her 4th of the night. Hitting big time percentage right now, over 700.
What are you seeing from her? Because she has been so locked in. Her last 5 matches hitting above 400.
Well, she is so talented athletically, but I like the communication. As the ball is being passed up to the setter, she is calling what she wants, and she runs her route even if she doesn't think she's going to get set. So just a great talent, and she's calling for that ball.
Smart on Hames to go back to her. Taylor Leith on the left side, and the point to Penn State with a net violation.
Back to serve for the Nittany Lions, number 9, Johnny Parker.
You see front row communicating who they think is going to get the swing, calling out the number of hitters on the other side of the net. It's the talk that's so important in this game.
What a serve by Parker. Bump set from Hampton. Hames to Fecky out of the back row. Michaela Fecky heating up early in set 2.
Well, Hames doing a good job of mixing it up and setting Fecky at just the right time. You're going to see a swing to the outside, a set to the outside with a swing by Sun, and then Fecky with the dig, and then coming back with a big swing from that backcourt.
5 kills, no errors for the senior Michaela Fecky. Weiskercher was not in rhythm with Horde. White kept it up momentarily. Hampton couldn't get to it.
This is where you see a few little ugly plays on Penn State's side of the net. We saw that in the first set as well, so we'll see if they can level this out a little bit, be a little crisper offensively.
Tensberger serving, Nebraska up 3. Leith over the top. Kept up by Nebraska. Good hustle on that side of the net.
Well, a very smart tip by Leith to take Lexi Sun out. She tips the ball right in front of Sun. Sun makes an aggressive move on the ball, but scrambles, and so the point goes to Penn State on a very well-placed shot by Leith.
That's the senior savvy that Russ Rose added when they brought the Pennsylvania native Taylor Leith back close to home. Nia Reed. Bump from Fecky to Sun. Outside again, Reed. Bump set Hames. Lexi Sun. Becky. Free ball from Maloney. Weiskercher outside to Reed again. And a point to Penn State. Another net violation on Nebraska.
Another great rally, both sides of the net. Take a look at this. A great get by Fecky. Wow. A free ball sent over the net. The point goes to Penn State. The effort is undeniable on both sides of the net.
Dug by White. Weiskercher out to Reed again. Free ball from Sun. Weiskercher right back to Nia Reed. Becky has been so busy in the back row, and another point to Penn State, pulling even.
You know, one of the subtle things that makes setters really good, what do they do when they're backpedaling on the ball? Penn State's setter, Weiskercher, she's moving backwards and able to set nice and low and fast to the left side pin. So a very impressive way of setting the ball. Weiskercher's doing a good job for her team tonight.
Timeout, John Cook with Penn State on a 3-0 run. Penn State, Nebraska, this just feels like that matchup should with the effort we've seen tonight.
You know, yeah, defense is an attitude. We're seeing great gets on both sides of the net, keeping the ball alive. You see Penn State sprawling out there to keep the ball alive. And then take a look at Fecky here, the one-handed stab. Defense is an attitude, and it shows the other team that you are ready to battle. You're not going to give any easy points to your opponent.
It has been awesome. The crowd has been fired up for all the plays, especially on the Nebraska side. Lexi Sun has her 5th kill for the Huskers. You tuned in late. Penn State took set 1. They fended off 4 set points that Nebraska had. And the Nittany Lions took it 27-25. And it's been tight throughout set 2 so far. Weiskercher to Nia Reed. Had a lot of swings in this set. Lexi Sun off the block.
So the adjustment that Nebraska has made, instead of setting Lexi Sun all the way to the pin, they're bringing her in a little bit. Take a look at where she's approaching from between the middle and left side. And that opens up some shots for her, so she's starting to feel a little bit more of a groove here in the second set than she was in the latter part of the first.
And if you're Penn State, how do you then adjust to it again on the defensive
Well,
side?
you always have to keep an eye on where your hitter is approaching from. So right now she's all the way outside. The blocker on that right pin should line up with Sun. So you just got to keep your eye on her and follow her, get lined up perfectly.
She started outside again, drifted in, and collects her 6th kill.
Yeah, and she's hitting over Weiskercher right now, so she's feeling a little bit of room there on the line to go over top of Weiskercher.
Leith had trouble passing it, and Penn State scores anyway to get within 2.
Number 21, Brianna Weiskercher, point Penn State.
One of the hardest things to do in volleyball is to train the ugly points. You always seem to train in system, but sometimes you got to learn how to win some of the uglier points. We've seen on both sides of the net balls that are not perfect, not clean volleyball, but you got to find a way to win.
Weiskercher goes right back to the left pin for Nia Reed. Ames goes to Jazz Sweet for a 2nd time, and Sweet's got her 3rd kill.
Now Sweet is doing a really good job on that pin. Fecky again finding just the right place to stand in middle back to get a lot of digs. And there you see a ball that goes off the blocker's hand, scores for Sweet.
46 of Nebraska's 73 swings have gone to Sun and Fecky. Haven't heard as much from Sweet yet. And a hitting error on Penn State.
Penn State bringing Nia Reed in, similar to what we just said about Lexi Sun, bringing her in zone 3 along the net. And she didn't have a lot of cross court to deal with there on that swing, and hits it wide.
Sun serves. Weiskercher to Nia Reed, and she's blocked. The Nebraska staff fired up.
That's a nice looking block there by Jazz Sweet. Take a look at how she's looking. She looks to see where Nia Reed is coming from. Trained her eyes very well, John Cook has, and she seals the net. Gets a huge one for her team.
6-1 run for the Huskers. We're back in 60 seconds. Well, we have veteran coaches. 40 years for Russ Rose at Penn State, John Cook in his 19th year at Nebraska, 7 at Wisconsin. So they have extensive branches on their coaching tree.
Yeah, it's so impressive, you know, the people that they have mentored, and, you know, those coaches have gone on and have had wonderful careers at their programs. So, you know, it's so impressive. If you get a chance to work for Russ Rose or John Cook, boy, you take it and run with it.
Chris Thomas, leading Illinois, was just here in Lincoln to get a win against his former boss. They beat Ohio State tonight in Columbus in 4 sets as well. Tori Gorell on the slide, but Nebraska continues the run. Now 7-1 here in set 2.
Well, Fecky and Schwarzenbach seal the net. It was all Fecky on that one. So again, we talk about the left side hitter, your responsibility to stop that slide attack and beat that slide approach and swing, especially cross court.
How about Fecky as well? She has done a little bit of everything tonight. 5 kills, 3 blocks. She has 16 digs as well already.
Yeah, the defense is actually very impressive. Usually kids of her size, her height, they don't play backcourt defense very well. She is saving Nebraska in middle back, digging up a ton of balls.
Cohort, her other 6 rotation outside. Lexi Sun had the service there. So Penn State within 5. Weiskercher sets Johnny Parker. Nice job by Fecky getting out to the pin. Sweet. Nia Reed tees off. Bump by Schwarzenbach to Fecky. Weiskercher. Bump set Maloney. Jazz Sweet. Line shot. White was there. Free ball from Kendall White. Hames on a back set. Jazz Sweet off the mark.
Well, Jazz Sweet was 1-on-1 with a lot of cross-court open, so a bad error there to end that long rally. Again, great defense on both sides of the net. Backcourt defense really is so impressive tonight.
3 kills, 3 errors for Jazz Sweet. It's sort of been the trend recently. But Callie Schwarzenbach delivers for Nebraska, back up by 5.
Well, a smart set by Hames. She felt the middle blocker for Penn State releasing. She holds on to that ball just a hair long and sets the middle. Nicely done by Hames.
A 4th kill to go along with 4 blocks for the true freshman middle. Set from Kenzie Maloney to Fecky. Michaela Fecky's 6th kill.
Well, Fecky's having quite the night, exactly what her team needs her to do. Get big swings on that left pin. We already talked about her defense. Blocking is all there, so she is on her game tonight.
Checking into the game for Penn State, number 13.
Talked about the dig totals for Fecky as well. So she's up to 17 digs now. Her career high is 19. We're still in set 2.
Yeah, really impressive for Penn State. A big substitution here. Gabby Blossom, number 13, will be setting on Penn State's side of the net.
They showed this a little bit at practice today. Haven't used it much this season, but Blossom goes to the middle for Serena Gray.
Well, Blossom starts off nicely there, getting an assist on the first play. Dips down a little bit, so you wouldn't expect her to be setting middle, taking that low pass, and manages to find her middle. Big point.
Jenna Hampton serve. Sweet, a line shot at Hampton. Sent over by Lee, kept up by Parker, and then it's a miscommunication. Nebraska by 6.
And that will happen when you have a new setter on the floor. You could see where the defense was looking to see, is my setter going to take the ball? So, you know, scramble play here. That is the setter's ball. And if the setter doesn't want it, they have to call for help.
Russ Rose uses his second timeout here of set 2. Mentioned about the Penn State setters, Brianna Weiskercher. We just saw Gabby Blossom as well. With Weiskercher, she is very active all over the floor for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, you know, setters do so much. Let's take a look at Weiskercher and all the area that she covers. There you see the red line that is going to kind of track her movement. She goes from defense, and then she has to go play the ball and set, and then she covers, and then back on defense. And, you know, there's so much movement that a setter has to do in the middle of a rally, and sometimes it goes unnoticed, but Weiskercher doing her job there by keeping the ball alive defensively, setting up good sets for her team. So workhorse on that Penn State team.
Thanks for a messy court as well, with all the lines you draw, with Weiskercher tracking her movements, some nice graffiti at Holloway Gymnasium. Here's our setter comparison to this point. Weiskercher, the 5th-year senior, Hames, the true freshman. That was how we started the night.
Yeah, and you know, the numbers are pretty much equal. Diggs a little bit favoring Hames there, but you know, what you really want to look at when you're looking at setters is the team's hitting percentage. And so, you know, right now it seems like Nebraska is running their middles very efficiently. Stivrins is a big part of the big numbers that we're seeing from Nebraska.
We said it earlier if you joined us late. Hames, the true freshman. That's such a rarity at Nebraska, and a rarity for a team right now in the country ranked as high as Nebraska is. Another true freshman back to serve with Megan Miller. Blossom sets Leith into the block. Leith the second time with a tip try. Becky off target, and the point to Penn State. True freshman Serena Gray. Service error, number 7 for Penn State.
Yeah, that's getting to the point where your service errors are really costing you, because we're not seeing a lot of service aces from Penn State. Yeah, none.
Only 3 for Nebraska. Doesn't have an ace either. Fecky. Done a great job serving this year. Among the Big Ten leaders in aces per set. Hames on the slide to Stivrins.
Stivrins' 5th kill of the night. Boy, she seems to be money right now for Nebraska. Again, she takes that long, wide approach. Lots of room there to hit over top of the block. Stivrins really on fire tonight.
And Nebraska up by 7 in set 2. Bump set from Blossom. Penn State out of system. A slide again to Stivrins. Change up this time, dug by White. Hames set Sun. Bump set from White to Leith, tight at the net. White's bump set. Hames to the back row for Fecky, dug by Hampton. Another swing for Leith, misses the mark, and Nebraska leads by 8.
Well, you just wonder if Russ Rose is going to put Weiskercher back in. It seems like the offense runs a little bit smoother with her on the floor. Blossom, you know, bump setting a lot of the balls, but right now it's all Nebraska taking advantage of the errors from Penn State.
Blossom was the setter on Friday. 2 weekend matches with Weiskercher unavailable last weekend for the first match due to injury. Back in there against Purdue. Blossom sets the middle. Off the block to Nebraska.
Yeah, you want to stretch out your tall middles. That time the set to the middle was a little too low. Nebraska seems to be rolling pretty easily here in the second set.
And there comes Weiskercher. Right back in for Penn State to replace Gabby Blossom. Fecky serving with Nebraska up by 9. Goes out White. Weiskercher to Johnny Parker. And just like that, Penn State.
Johnny Parker, point Penn State.
One of the things that Parker does so well, she's got great vision at the point of contact. She saw that there was a little seam between the two blockers, and she exploited it.
Now her big jump serve. And the point goes to Nebraska on the fault.
Yep, foot fault on that one. So when you do a jump serve, your foot has to be behind that line, and she touched the line with her foot. So a very easy point there for Nebraska. They got 24.
We saw a Big Ten match earlier this week end that way on a foot fault on a serve. Set point for Nebraska, which had 4 set point opportunities in set 1. Trying to even it up. Horde on the slide gets the point for Penn State.
Well, remember the end of set 1. A lot of errors by Nebraska, so we'll see. Now they've got a lot of cushion here, but we'll see if they can come out of this one right here with a set win.
Similar to the first meeting between these two, where Nebraska was excellent, had a whole lot of breathing room in set 2. Good pass from Miller. Schwarzenbach is blocked by Nia Reed. The Penn State bench is fired up.
Nia Reed says, "Nuh-uh, not so fast. Try and get that ball past me." And Nia Reed lining up perfectly, and the reach from the elbows to the hands right over top of the net. Call that choking the hitter. You want to get your hands wrapped around the ball. Nicely done by Nia Reed.
And a serving sub with Emily Shora in for Taylor Leith. Sun is blocked, one-armed by Caitlin Horde.
So, you know, I really think as an outside hitter, you want to blast your way to victory. I don't know that tipping on game point shows the ton of courage that Cook would like to see from Lexi Sun. So we'll see if she can regroup here as that left side attacker. It always seems to come on the shoulders of that left pin. We'll see what she can do here after the timeout.
And still looking to clean up a set point and take care of a set if you're Nebraska. And I think the word you just said, regroup, that's the key here for the Huskers. We talked about it in set 1. That's been a message this week from John Cook. Finish out sets.
Yeah, you know, and I love to tell my outsides, hey, nobody came here to watch you tip the ball. let's go and swing. Look at all these people here. They want to see you swing to win. No one came to watch you tip. So we'll see if Sun comes out blasting away.
Well, it's getting to be that time of the season. We're into the final month of the regular season. Here's the standings of the RPI through a couple of days ago. Illinois, boy, they have been sitting so close to the top the last few weeks. And then you see Nebraska and Penn State in the teens.
Yeah, so, you know, this just reiterates that the Big Ten gets their teams ready for postseason play. They are battle-tested when the tournament rolls around. Any one of those teams could be a national champion because they have to fight day in and day out for victories.
Well, hey, we're talking outside hitters. Michaela Fecky, she has 6 kills, and she's been all over the place defensively, too.
Well, you know, she's just a powerhouse, and we already said that this team will go as Fecky goes, and she's having an outstanding match in every aspect of the game. The swings are so important, but then she's setting a tone for her team by making moves like that on defense. I'm very impressed with what she's doing in that middle back position.
She's already matched the career high, you see. With those 19 digs, we're still in set 2. Another set point for Nebraska. Fecky out of the back row. Nia Reed. Sun had to adjust. Weiskercher to the left side for Nia Reed. And Penn State's on a 4-0 run.
Nia Reed, she's taken over. She doesn't care about the score right now. She's just taking each ball 1 point at a time. For Lexi Sun, I feel like she's not getting great transition approaches. She's kind of doing a 2-footed hop from inside the 10-foot line. She really needs to get back on transition.
Shora still serving. Sun, dug by White. Nia Reed. Becky in the back row again. Sun. Bump set from Parker. Down ball from Penn State. Haynes sets Sun again. White takes it. Nia Reed off the block. Nebraska evens it up.
Haynes taking control of the net, the freshman setter for Nebraska, denying Nia Reed the swing and kill. Becky keeping the ball alive in the backcourt all night long so far. Take a look at that. And then we see how the rally ends here. Haynes going up and reaching, solid shoulders, solid hands over the net. Big point there for the setter. Sealing the net, getting a big stuff block.
All right, we now welcome on Penn State head coach Russ Rose. Coach, very simply, your thoughts on these first 2 sets?
Well, I think it's really sloppy on our side. I don't think either team is playing great. I know from our standpoint, we've missed 8 or 9 serves. I think our passing has been real shaky, and you know, hopefully we'll be able to play a little better in the next couple of games. You know, Nebraska had a good lead at the end. You know, we got lucky to pull out the first game. I thought maybe we'd play a little better, a little more relaxed in the second game. It got a little crazy in the middle. I had to take everybody out. I was wondering if Audrey had her sneakers on, if she wanted to go out there.
I'll check below at the break here, Coach. Thanks.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, Penn State head coach Russ Rose. He said it, a little bit sloppy, but after 2 sets, we are even in Lincoln. Penn State and Nebraska duking it out at Devaney. Penn State took set 1. It came from behind late in that set, and then Nebraska in set 2. These are the numbers after the first couple of sets. Audrey Flau, what stands out to you?
Well, the blocking for Nebraska stands out. It's signature John Cook kind of team. You see them warming up and working on their blocking technique. It's really paying off. The other stat that's standing out is Penn State service errors, 8 with no aces. So that's the number that stands out in my mind.
Passing and serving, those were the key points of emphasis from Russ Rose before the intermission here on the road at the Devaney Sports Center. All right, we've got John Cook kind enough to join us right now. And Coach, your guys' hustle has really stood out. What do you think about the way this group is playing?
Well, it's you got to do that when you play Penn State because they hustle too. So it's a really good volleyball match. Both teams are playing really hard.
You know, Fecky has been impressive so far, 6 kills, hitting 250. But again, defense, she's really setting the tone. Comment on her play so far in the first 2.
Well, she's our senior leader. She's got to set the, the tone for how we're going to play and create the energy on our side. And same with Kenzie. And so it's what those guys, it's what they get paid to do.
John, thanks for the time.
All right, thanks.
So our State Farm State of Success tonight, John Cook, his team playing in front of another sellout crowd, 250 straight in the regular season. There's really nothing like this. John Cook said it this week, anywhere, anytime in college sports like this, it's really unparalleled.
No, he has created a state treasure. He has built the program. It takes so much time and energy to have people that, sports staff, admin on your side. And what he has done is created a team with a great identity and a great culture. Kids want to play for Nebraska. A lot of in-state recruiting happens here. So Cook very proud of all of these things that he has done over the years.
It began midway through the 2001 season, even when they moved venues as well a few years back into the Devaney Sports Center, nearly double the capacity here. It just continues. So we're ready to go with set 3. Nittany Hames starts serving in rotation 1 for Nebraska. Johnny Parker got the first swing, and it's off the antenna.
And Lexi sung a little, I'm not quite sure what happened there. It seemed to, maybe she got hit. She seems to be smiling, laughing it off. Got poked in the eye, maybe. Went off her head.
Good to see a smile in that situation. Weiskercher setting for Penn State, and she connects with Taylor Leaf. Here's Lexi's son on the pin.
Yeah, what happened there?
Right off the antenna.
Yeah, off the antenna into the melon.
Son has 7 kills to lead Nebraska. Taylor Leaf with 10, most in the match. How about the arm from Callie Schwarzenbach? That was quick in the middle.
Yeah, Schwarzenbach can really be a factor here. I like how Hames is going to her early in this set. It opens things up for the outside. You've got to pump the middle, and there you see one-on-one. She cuts it cross court.
5 and 5 for the true freshman. 6'5" out of Kearney, Missouri. Initially, coverage off the block by Penn State, but Nebraska's block again has been really stout tonight.
Yeah, you know, again, it's what John Cook spends a lot of time on, the whole defensive scheme of the game. Look how Jazz Sweet reaches out there and then comes back and reaches back to the middle of the court on the point of contact on that block.
Second in the country in opponent hitting percentage now, behind Florida Gulf Coast. They had been in first for so much of this season. It's an elite defense. It's the 3rd service error for Nebraska. Make it 4 compared to the 8 for Penn State. Sweet's free ball is put away by Taylor Leaf.
Taylor Leaf taking that ball that is just right on top of the net here. Scramble play, whammo. Gotta love when you get the opportunity to swing at those. Almost guaranteed a point.
Wide eyes if you're in the front row. Here's Fecky. Point Penn State. Just long from Fecky. And there is the green card from John Cook.
Well, if it does hit the line, it's hitting right on the outer edge. I don't think we're going to see it there on that angle.
Conveniently placed R1. Try the overhead look.
Nebraska is challenging that the ball.
Not just the call standing, the call there confirmed by our R2. And Russ Rose with a reaction.
Animated, having fun. Gotta love that guy.
By the way, did you find any shoes?
Hey, coach, put me in. I'm ready. I am ready.
4-4 early on in set 3. Here's Kenzie Maloney. 9 service errors, by the way, for Penn State. Becky fired up.
Well, this blocking team for Nebraska is dialed in, and they are beating the attacker to the point of attack right there. And then the reach in, it's not just that the feet are in the right spot, but they reach to close up the seam.
Penn State sets the middle to Caitlin Horde, who's now up to 6 kills. She's had 14 swings. Again, she wasn't available the first meeting. She missed a couple matches. The first time that Penn State played Purdue on the road in West Lafayette, and then at home in the meeting against Nebraska. And after all of that, it's another service error for Penn State.
Yeah, they really need to be aware, and I'm sure Russ Rose has brought it to their attention. You know, you have to go to the service line with confidence. You got to really believe in your training and believe that you can put in a tough serve. Hitting the ball in the middle of the net is so frustrating when you're a coach.
Well, it is a young team, but that one came from the grad student, Taylor Leith. Nebraska keeps rolling, now up by 2.
Stiverin's putting on a blocking clinic right now. The offense kind of a bit slow, the back row attack. Stiverin just stays home here. And again, you see that they are closing the seam. So with their arms, they're reaching. You think as a hitter, you have a shot available. At the last minute, they deny you with great aggressive moves with the shoulders and hands.
Again, the 2 big discrepancies, the one we just showed you on the bottom of the screen there, blocks, and then the one we've been talking about all night with service aces as well. Service errors, rather.
And Nia Reed comes through with a big kill, taking that ball. I like her approach, how she plants that left foot parallel to the center line. That gives her a lot of torque and rotation with her shoulders, and she just rips it down the line.
The White serves at Maloney. Weiskercher to Nia Reed. Bump set Maloney to Fecky. Dug by Sun. Bump from Hames beyond the line, and then Fecky tees off at Johnny Parker.
Well, Fecky's feeling it tonight. This place loves Michaela Fecky, and why not? She takes a 5-5 set and just drills it down the line high over top of the block. Look at how hard she works to get her feet and her approach deep off of the net. So what she does when the ball's in the air is really, really good.
How about that stat line as well from Fecky, who gets her 22nd dig, and Maloney tosses over the free ball. Reed scores this time out of the reach of Fecky and Miller.
Well, Russ Rose talked about how he really needs his seniors to step up. Nia Reed doing just that. Seems to be getting every single kill for her team. Take a look at this big swing. Again, she likes that line. That's where she's going right now. We'll see if Nebraska adjusts their backcourt defense to rotate to that right back corner.
We've talked about Reed's 20 kills in the first matchup. She had 70 swings in that 5-setter. Hames sets Lexi Sun. Kept up by Parker. And then Stivrins and Gray were jockeying at the net. And on the net call, Nebraska gets the point.
The points are not coming easy right now for Lexi Sun. She thought she wiped the ball off the block to get a point. Nebraska, like you said, ends up getting the point on a net violation from Penn State. But Lexi Sun really not getting big numbers so far in the first 3 sets of the match.
7 kills, 7 errors for the sophomore. Hames in a joust loses that battle against Serena Gray.
No, Gray just ate up that ball. Aggressive play at the net, and you know, when you are at a joust along the net, you want to push and you want to go to the side, and you're going to see how Penn State controls the net on that play.
What an awesome look from the overhead cam here in Lincoln. Jenna Hampton serves. Off the tape, she had a couple service errors early, and then Taylor Leith takes care of it on the overpass.
So that doesn't show up as an ace, but an aggressive serve takes the team out of system, gives your team an advantage for an easy point, as you see there from Penn State. Nine all
in set 3. Hampton long this time. And that's 11 now for Penn State.
I have a feeling I know what Russ Rose is going to focus on in practice next week.
We'll give you credit for that one, but not too hard to figure that one out with the way this one has gone to this point. And again, no aces for Penn State, for Nebraska either, with the combined service errors we've had. Penn State pulls level again.
A good crossing play there by Penn State. Johnny Parker showing mobility on the approach. She's a right side attacker coming into the middle of the court for a 2-ball. Nice set there. Quicker tempo, not too high, but it's definitely not the first tempo set. Johnny Parker showing what she does best, just moving around the net to get swings and kills.
Now for the first time, here comes Bailey Hoffman, the senior from York, Pennsylvania, to serve, and it leads to a Penn State block with Leaf.
Let's take a look at how Leaf lines up here, taking away the cross court. One-on-one, usually the advantage goes to the hitter, unless you're up against Taylor Leaf. Boy, she's got the experience. She knows exactly how to seal the net on a slide.
And look, Russ Rose is looking for serving answers right now,
and
Hoffman commits it. That's a dozen service errors.
He's going to talk to her. Sometimes those errors, it's just like, they're so contagious. You just get so tense because the person in front of you missed their serve, so now it's a thing, it's in your head, and so you gotta just go back with a lot of confidence and just try to put the ball in a spot that's gonna put a little bit of pressure on the serve-receive side of the net.
Point Nebraska. And right, that's sort of the catch-22. Once you get into a stretch like that, as we have a look at the block of Nebraska, once you get into that where there are a lot of service errors piling up, can it be tough to dig out of it?
Yeah, you know, it gets in people's heads, I think. I think that's what we're seeing right now. So it usually, you know, it takes that really strong-willed person to not let a previous play affect your play. So, you know, we'll see if Penn State can clean this up. They are great, very talented players. The service errors, though, you know, Russ Rose is going to probably use a timeout to address it. I'm sure he did in between sets 2 and 3.
7th kill from Caitlin Horde. You're even at a dozen. Dug by Blossom. Bump set from Hampton. Down ball to Maloney. Hames on a back set to sweet cross court. We've seen that shot from her on the right side.
Yep, one-on-one. The lefty goes cross court hard. A free ball was sent over. You're going to see the free ball was sent over right to Maloney, the bro for Nebraska. So they are in rhythm. They are in control of that play.
Now Maloney serves. And a service error on the other side. Midway through set 3, even at 1 set aside. Penn State and Nebraska, as it often is, a top 10 match here in Lincoln tonight. Hames sets the middle for Stivrins. Dug by Blossom. Hames sets Fecky. A little bit high that time. Weiskercher to the middle for a kill for Horde. Count him up, that's 8 for the freshman.
Well, Horde, what I really like about that swing is she takes the ball. You're going to see a really high tip there from Fecky, but she takes the ball and she goes across her body to position 1. A lot of good things can happen. First, you get the kill, but when the setter is playing backcourt in right back, you're going to take the setter out as well. So smart shot on that quick by Horde.
Locked off the antenna, so the point to Nebraska. Heard from John Cook when we spoke with him just before this set started. What you need out of Michaela Fecky. You want her to set the tone as a senior leader. Megan Miller serves. And a service error. Had 18 of them tonight combined at the midway point of set 3. Penn State by 1 on the road. It's been tight throughout set 3. Nebraska does have a huge advantage in blocks, 14-6. Lauren Stivrins has 7.
Yeah, she's been the highlight of the blocking squad for Nebraska. Take a look at how she moves so quick to close the block. And you think as a hitter you have some seam to swing into, and then at the last minute she presses so well, shoulders, elbows, hands over the net. She's been a real highlight. 6 blocks, 7 blocks so far for the night.
And a conference with so many great middles. Stivrins on the slide. So 7 kills, no errors, 13 swings. Would you go to her even more?
Oh yeah, feed her the ball. Give it to her. She is unstoppable right now. And even if the block goes with her, you can see how she's able to just wipe the ball off the block. So she is moneymaker right now for Nebraska.
Becky off the tape. Maloney digs it. To the middle for Stivrins. Another kill. They were listening, Audrey.
Absolutely. So Stivrins, she didn't get a stuff block, but what she did is she slowed the ball down enough with the block so that it was a controlled dig. And so, of course, there's going to be 2 blockers against her, and she exploits that left front area of the court as she approaches for that A. Perfectly placed tip there, keeping the defense on their toes. And boy, look at her numbers. Impressive.
Speaking of great middles in this conference, how about what Dana Retke did earlier this week on BTN? A career-high 30 kills in 4 sets against Minnesota.
That kid is a beast. I mean, it would be really tough playing against her across the net.
I was talking with Russ Rose today at practice. He was raving about that stat line and doing that as a middle to get 30 kills.
Yeah, you know, she's just so physically gifted and, you know, just such a player. And could you imagine if your job is to defend against her? You know, do your best, try and get some touches. But yeah, her numbers are really worthy of her getting Big Ten Player of the Week.
Well, here's Lauren Stivrins up to 9 kills now.
Well, I like the way Hames is putting the ball in between the blockers. You know, the slide goes all the way to the pin. That's a fast attack right behind. So Hames really feeling where the gaps are in the block and exploiting.
Stivrins had the hard serve right at Lee. Parker tries the second time. And it's down. Penn State back even at 17.
You know, when you think of the score here, 17 all, you wonder, how is Penn State hanging with Nebraska? Because of the number of errors right now, it's quite impressive, actually, that Penn State is tied. If they can clean up some of their unforced errors, they could really roll away with this one. They kind of shoot themselves in the foot.
9th hitting error from Lexi Sun.
Again, if you're Penn State, go ahead and pick on Lexi Sun. Make her pass the ball. Make her think about multiple things here as she kind of is struggling in this match tonight.
Becky stepped in front of Miller, and that's the first ace serve from either team tonight.
Well, you wonder if that's going to flip a switch for Penn State. Aggressive serve in between 2 players. Fecky reaching outside of her body line to play it. And there you see Penn State's bench loving it.
First ace, Penn State up by 2 in set 3. Wisconsin, we've talked about all those teams as well.
Yeah, the battle of the 4 great teams, Illinois, Wisconsin, Purdue, Penn State. Either one can emerge in the top half of this conference.
Jenna Hampton serving again. White digs it. Tumbling save by the junior. Miller kept it up, bump set from Hames to Sun. Now White to Parker, misses. Tried to go for the corner across court.
Parker's numbers so far, she's hitting 125 on the night, 7 kills, 4 errors, 24 attempts. So I think Parker is best when she moves a little bit, those crossing plays, quick behind. Parker just a fighter though, she is resilient. Short memory on errors for sure.
It's a tough serve from Hames, and then off the block for Penn State to go back up by 2.
13 kills for Taylor Leith so far. Let's take a look at how Penn State really was lucky in getting that serve receive up to the setter. And then Leith taking advantage and using the edges of the block to get a point.
Now Serena Gray serves. Ames is back set to Schwarzenbach. Tip at the net, read well by Sun. Ames, a back set to Sun. Bump set Maloney, here's Sweet. Into the block. Caitlin Horde once again.
Well, Penn State's block heating up, denying Lexi Sun first, and then take a look at just the level above the net, the height above the net. Number 23 is reaching. Horde, physical and ready to seal the net on the block.
Off the tape, Sweet. It's in off the block. Point Penn State.
Horde, again, doing a good job, but Johnny Parker setting up where the block is going to be set up, so she lines up perfectly. Penn State's bench, lots of energy, lots of excitement right now on that side of the net.
Timeout taken again by John Cook, getting late in set 3. Hey, tomorrow on BTN, the nation's premier conference comes your way again. We've got the Gophers hosting the Michigan State Spartans. It's Big Ten volleyball powered by American Ethanol. That's 8 Eastern here on BTN, and it's another chance, Audrey, to look at that Minnesota team that is rolling. We just showed you they're still perfect in the Big Ten. What stands out to you about them this year?
The setter, Samantha Seliger-Schwedson, is awesome. She runs a great offense. And then Hugh McCutcheon's so smart and so composed on the bench. You know, even if they find themselves in tight situations, they've got big swings that get them out of pickles. And so you need that. They're very talented, very physical in all aspects of the game. So well-coached team, and the offense run super great by Samantha Seliger-Schwedson.
Well, let's break this down, because Samantha Seliger-Schwedson is one of the veteran setters in this conference. In Big Ten play, this is the winning percentage by teams that have setters that are either seniors, juniors, sophomores, or in the case here, like Nebraska, freshmen.
Right, and you can't deny what experience adds to your game. You know, you've seen blocks, you've seen schemes before, you learn how to read the defense, and you exploit the block and the defense, and that's what good, experienced senior setters will do.
Emily Shora, for a third set, is in to serve. Penn State by 4. Ames sets up Sun out of the middle. What a swing.
Well, sometimes you just have to change up the angle of an approach. And here you see her right in the middle. There's 2 blocks against her, and she just hammers it left back. So a great swing. We'll see if that changes things for Lexi Sun and really changes the way the offense is run a little bit. Hams is going to probably use her along the net a little bit more, not just at the left pin.
Penn State answers right back with Caitlin Horde, who has 9 kills, and she's had an excellent set 3.
Yeah, Horde is really showing why she was the number 3 recruit according to Prep Volleyball. Very talented young lady, and she is just getting better as this match goes on.
Jazz Sweet finds the seam, gets the kill in front of White.
The first match up between Nebraska and Penn State, Jazz Sweet really struggled. We're not seeing any signs of that tonight. She is aggressive, she's got confidence, and you can tell by the way she's snapping on that ball. She feels good and wants to be aggressive tonight for her team.
2 of the most powerful swings of the night for Nebraska from those 2, from Sun and Sweet back to back. Penn State by 3, dug by Sun over the net. Weiskercher to the middle again. Keeps running middle with Horde. Fecky. Weiskercher tries the left side to Leith, and it's off the antenna. So Nebraska's within 2.
And Nebraska's showing a great fight here. Wow. And again, it's errors by Penn State, just like we saw from Nebraska in set 1, that is keeping their opponent in the game. So you tip the ball, can't hit the antenna. Easy point for Nebraska.
Leaf did, and it makes it even closer late in set 3. First of 2 timeouts used by Russ Rose here in set 3 in Lincoln.
So, you know, it's going to happen. You're going to end up getting in a little bit of a funk as a hitter. You can see her hitting percentage tonight is in negative numbers. So what can you do as a player that your team is relying on? Well, you focus on your team and you try to elevate the level of play in different aspects of the game, in your backcourt defense, in your blocking, and you try to contribute points in different ways. So Lexi Sun, experienced, has a lot of confidence. We'll see if she can work her way out of this hitting funk that she seems to be in tonight.
Here's the question. How does Nebraska answer the middle with Caitlin Horde?
Well, you have to anticipate the ball, so your block has to be loaded at the knees, bent, ready to go, so that when she jumps, you're jumping too. You try to get touches. You may not get stuff blocks, but you want to touch the ball and slow it down in the middle.
There she is with a block to close out set 3.
Well, that kid is one talented young lady, a freshman, 6'4". Let's watch Horde just take advantage here of her athletic ability, sealing the net. Well done.
It leads Nebraska 2-1. We begin set number 4. And it's no surprise when these two get together that you go 4 or 5 sets. Now 13 of the last 16 matches between these two. And Penn State has the upper hand. How about the performance from Caitlin Horde there in set 3?
Yeah, you know, what is really difficult for Nebraska, you know, different people emerge as the players that you have to stop, and I'm sure they were talking about Nia Reed, but Horde has really been the difference maker for Penn State. She's been solid on the block, getting great numbers offensively too. So there you see her numbers for tonight. So Nebraska has got to find a way to slow her down and figure out how to make her less of a factor on the block.
And exactly half of the kills, half of the blocks that she has for the night came in set 3. 5 kills, 3 blocks.
Yeah, so that's when you can see what athleticism can do. She's just turned it on. She's figuring out, you know, how to improve her game as the match goes on. And hey, hats off to Weiskercher to feed her the ball. When you have a player that's hot, you find them wherever you are along the net. So Horde doing a really good job of keeping Penn State in this match and winning that 3rd set.
And again, Horde did not play in the first match 3 weeks ago out at Rec Hall in State College. One of the 2 matches she's missed this year due to injury. Making a big difference tonight. Taylor Leaf begins set 4 serving. Hames back set to Schwarzenbach, kept up. Maloney's bump set for Lexi Sun. White digs it. She's moved into 5th all-time on Penn State's digs list tonight. Point goes to Nebraska. They've got Capri Davison, the freshman from Mansfield, Texas.
Well, the first point here of this set, another long rally, great defensive gets. There's Kenzie Maloney. And then take a look at this nice swing on the left pin.
Good work by Davis, who saw a lot of time starting early in the season. Remember, Lexi Sun missed the first 8 matches of the year. Sun serves. Once again, Penn State sets the middle. And Horde, after such a great set 3, is long.
You have to have that very short memory. I made an error. Hey, I've been having a great match so far. Just give me the ball. Find a way to score. Putting that ball deep corners. We'll see if they go back to Horde.
And they go right back to Horde. Isn't that sort of what you expect from a 5th-year senior setter to go back to the freshman after the error?
Well, you know what? It's a confidence builder, and if you have the pass, it's kind of taking you off the net a little bit. It does open up some angles, so you never want to set middle on a perfect pass on serve receive. When you're moving around a little bit, yeah, and just pump her the ball and build up her confidence.
Ames goes to Jazz Sweet. Bumped up by White. Fecky. Off the block and out, and Fecky's got her 9th kill.
What I love about Fecky, she doesn't avoid the block. She goes high off the hands and just swings as powerful as her arm will let her swing, and she just doesn't fear the block in front of her, which is really quite impressive.
She was very active in the first 2 sets. Weiskercher denied on the dump at the net in the center of the court.
Stivrins with a bit of attitude. I like it. She gets the stuff here and just kind of stares down Weiskercher a little bit. Yeah. Gotta like the moxie you see from Stivrins.
Maloney goes short on the serve. Tapped down by Jazz Sweet. And the point goes to the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, Jazz Sweet called for being over the net there in an attempt to set the ball. You have to let Weiskercher go up and make the set. Let's take a look at it again. Reaching over the net on that ball.
So a 2-point start. That's the difference early on in set 4. Sweet off the block. 6 kills for Jazz Sweet. Talking about the hitters for Nebraska. We were talking about the numbers early on from Fecky and how Nebraska fares when Fecky hits above or below 250. And you see tonight she's at 207.
Yeah, she sets the tone for the team, and when she plays with confidence and hits well, the whole team seems to kind of ride on her shoulders. So that's a sign of a great player, a great leader on the team.
Really good serve from Megan Miller. She dug it. Hames got to it. Penn State trying to capitalize on a free ball. Fecky off the block of Penn State.
Gorell is back in for Penn State as the middle blocker, and we're going to see that she is already there waiting for that ball to be set. So you can see why a pass that takes the setter out of her setting box becomes a little bit easier for the blocker on the other side of the net to move.
Good serve from Jenna Hampton to get Nebraska out of system. Hampton cuts in front of it. Parker's block, good coverage right there by Gorell. Fecky. Taylor Leith is long, and Nebraska's up by 3.
You know, Leith felt like she could swing to win the rally, but just a little long on her part, and she showed a bit of frustration there after she made that error because it was such great defensive gets by her teammates. She just wanted to end the rally with a big point.
No aces tonight from Nebraska. Big swing from Parker. Sun, roll shot for the kill.
Well, Parker swung out of the middle and then got kind of tangled up, so she became the middle blocker. Gorell started blocking on the right side. You could see that little mismatch there. Lexi Sun taking advantage of that and hitting over top of Parker.
Good serve by Fecky right at Hampton. Kept up by Hampton. And a block. Lauren Stivrins. That's 9 of them.
The read is so important here. The lateral movement that's so quick. She's just having a ton of fun out there. She really enjoys that aspect of the game, just denying hitters a kill. So fun to watch her play.
Penn State sets the middle to Tori Gorell.
You know, the one thing you have to like about Penn State, they've got a bench that comes in and contributes. You see Gorell getting some playing time there. They've got a wide assortment of defensive players that come in and you know, really help players that might be struggling. So Penn State going deep on their bench.
Yeah, Gorell was effective stepping in for Caitlin Horde in the first meeting between these two. Taylor Leith leads everyone tonight. That's her 14th kill.
The experience and confidence and calmness about Taylor Leith has really shown here tonight. She's often got big hands in front of her, and yet she manages to score a point.
Penn State within 2 off the serve.
A well-needed ace by Penn State. Their serving game has picked up for them. John Cook up off the bench, calling a timeout.
His team led by 5. It was 8-3, but the Nittany Lions are on a 3-0 run early on in set 4 in Lincoln.
Just what a talent.
I'll tell you what, too, we learned today that Caitlin Horde can play the piano as well. You would have heard that if you walked through the hotel lobby where Penn State is staying at about 9 a.m. today. A net violation, and the point goes to Nebraska out of the timeout to go up by 3.
At the line serving for your Huskers, number 26.
Russ Rose asking who it was on. Here's Lauren Stivrins. She leads Nebraska tonight with 10 kills. Goes at Leith. Ames, set Sun, dug by White. Quick dump try by Weiskercher. This time a back set for Parker. And point Nebraska. No touch, just out from Johnny Parker.
And you saw Weiskercher, the setter for Penn State, take a quick glance over at the other side, trying to read what the defense was doing. She went to Parker, and just a very strange error, just really out of too wide, out of bounds for Parker. So we typically don't see those types of errors from Johnny Parker.
She's got 7 errors to go along with her 7 kills. And Nebraska now has 7 service errors. Penn State, though, certainly has tightened it up. We hammered home that point earlier, the service errors. A dozen early ones for the Nittany Lions. White keeps it up. Kendall White's been all over the place, the All-American libero. Leith tools the block.
Well, White undeniably talented in the backcourt. Take a look at this effort that she brings. Not in great position, adjusts, makes a diving save to deny Nebraska the point. There you see Nebraska with a triple block now, trying to slow down Penn State's left side hitters.
And so right on cue, the miscue rears its head again for Penn State.
But I like the way Kendall White, I like the energy she brings to the floor. Yes, she goes to her teammate and she's like, hey, we'll get a dig. Her positive energy is so impressive, and that's what I like about Kendall White.
Good pass from her to Weiskercher. Set up Horde in the middle. Sun down the line. Weiskercher to the outside this time for Leith. And at the net, the point goes to Nebraska.
And they say no touch on the block. Leith was saying there was a touch on the block. We'll see if they challenge that. When you take a look at it, the ball does appear to go off the tape and into Nebraska's block. From that angle, it's difficult to see, but when you look at it from Penn State's side of the net, let's see what we can.
Russ Rose is challenging this. First time he has brought out the green card.
Yeah, that ball hits the forearms of Callie Schwarzenbach. I think that's a clear touch. Goes off the tape, crosses the net, comes back. Are you you seeing what I'm seeing?
I am, right there at the net.
Okay.
And based on Penn State's reaction, too, they seem to sense that immediately from their bench.
Right.
So our R2 having a look at it. Again, the challenge review system in college volleyball. 3 challenges you're allowed over the course of the match if we do go to a 5th set here, which means if Nebraska wins set 4, you get another one.
Sometimes you feel like the longer they review it, you know, the less it's going to go in the favor of the person challenging. So we'll have to see how this ends up.
Well, while we wait for the ruling here, let's check in on Kendall White, who's up to 24 digs, the junior All-American out of Zionsville, Indiana. She's played excellent tonight.
Yeah, you know, she's got a great read on the ball on defense, but here's what she does so well. She's taking charge of the huddle, and she is the personality on the team, and I really like the energy that she brings to the court. A courageous player, but the spark plug of this Nittany Lion team.
She's got a chance to threaten the all-time digs record from Kalina Walters. Over 1,300 total for her career with the effort tonight. The powers that be were playing Let It Be here while we await this ruling. And I think you're probably right based on how long it took. And the call does stand. Dennis Hohenscheld, one of the assistant coaches for Penn State, still searching for the right explanation. So, Nebraska by 4. Penn State right to the middle with Horde. Weiskercher. Becky's there. Sun's tip. Kept up. Jenna Hampton. Good coverage by Hampton off the block. Dug by Maloney. Capri Davis. Point Penn State off the antenna.
The hit is wide. Point Penn State.
Lexi Sun is talking to the bench about challenging a play, a call somewhere.
And so John Cook does use a green card for a second time. Didn't have to wait long to get one again.
I think they're going to be challenging a pancake play. That's when, you know, a defensive player just slides their hand under the ball on defense. Let's see here.
Yeah, they're challenging that it was down there
Right.
on Hampton's pancake. Let's try this angle.
Seems to be blocked there by Weiskercher's body. Let's take a look here. So no part of the ball obviously can hit the court. So her entire hand has to be under the ball. And you can see it does appear like part of the ball hits the court and part of the ball does hit her hand, but nonetheless, none of the ball can hit the court. So I was wrong on the last one, though, so, you know.
You know what, Audrey? I will still take your word for it. They've essentially got a freeze frame up here on the video board inside the Devaney Sports Center trying to make their case. And the fans certainly think it's down for Nebraska.
As soon as Lexi's son tipped the ball and the pancake happened on Penn State's side of the net, she was adamant that it hit the ground, but we'll see how this gets played out here by the referee.
Originally a hitting error from Capri Davis. And point Nebraska. So a successful green card usage by John Cook, the second time he's done so. And Lexi's son was right on. It's a handful of times now the Penn State bench has been looking for explanations.
Russ Rose waves it off. He's not impressed. But you have to regroup here. The next ball is the one that's the most important, not the last play. We'll see how they do.
Really a 2-point swing. Horde is long. Nebraska by 6 midway through set 4. Hames still serving. And a service error.
And a bit of a scary sort of a situation for Penn State. Usually you want to take a ball that's going to the line. You want to move as a passing team. And they just pretty much parked it about 5 to 6 feet in court and called it out from there. They were right, but typically coaches like to see their passers moving to the line and calling it out.
Kendall White with the R1. All right, Emily Shora serves. Capri Davis through the Penn State block.
Well, Davis doing a good job getting the nod from Cook to come in and swing some from that left pin, getting a point here for her team. Now as she rotates to the back court, she is off, but good job. You gotta appreciate when you ask somebody to come in and make a difference, and they do exactly that.
That's something that some around the program have been wondering if that would be a move John Cook would use at some point over the course of the last few weeks. Nia Reed is blocked by Jazz Sweet.
And this place absolutely loves it. Jazz Sweet, strong, aggressive, great feet to the ball. She's having such a better match against Penn State this time around than she did the first time.
Penn State takes its first time out in set 4. This place has been jumping all night since they walked through the gates at the Nittany Sports Center. 250th consecutive regular season sellout crowd, and this place was just like this is right now in set 1.
That's right. You know, this is a great place to be right now. The fans are passionate about Nebraska volleyball. They understand the game. They appreciate the efforts. And they're with this team, you know, whether they're winning or if they're struggling. The support here happens all the time. You can see the student section there having a good time tonight.
What have you seen from Nebraska tonight? Because we've talked a lot over the last few weeks about some of their struggles, some of their losses. It's obviously more losses than they want, more than they're used to,
sure,
but a lot of tough opponents and a lot of close sets as well.
Right. Well, the thing you have to appreciate about them is their competitive spirit. This is a great Penn State team, and they're not playing flawlessly. They have moments when they're, you know, struggling, but they rebound very well. If one player's not playing well, somebody else picks up their level of play. So, you know, I think it's a good team effort by Nebraska, and that's why they're hanging on here. They've got to win this 4th set in order to keep the match going on.
Well, to your point, on a team effort, 3 different Huskers with at least 9 kills. Stiveran's a team high 10 for the match. Number 7 down by 7 in set 4. Back to the middle for Horde, who gets the kill right at Haynes.
Out of the timeout, Penn State with a perfect pass gives Weiskercher the opportunity to choose where she wants to set the ball. Horde has been so good in the middle, cutting back that ball to the right back area of Nebraska's court.
Haynes goes to the middle. Allie Schwarzenbach just long.
So after that timeout, back-to-back points for Penn State. If you're Russ Rose, you've got to like that. Let's see if they can get a third one here.
With Kendall White serving. She goes short. Jazz Sweet off the block.
You know, this is the Jazz Sweet that the Nebraska fans wanted to see tonight. Her 7th kill of the evening. You can see that high reach using the block. And Haynes loving everything about it, encouraging her hitter to keep swinging strong.
Stivrins finds the opening.
Fecki, another great dig, just a one-handed stab at the ball to keep the ball alive. It doesn't always have to be beautiful. And then you're gonna see, take a look at this dig here, one-handed stab, and then Stivrins just finding a spot that's open. Good heads-up play.
So the lead back at 7 for Nebraska. Good pass from Leaf to Weiskercher to set up Nia Reed for the kill.
We have to talk about Leaf's ball control. Her serve receive has been so good tonight. So she knows that she's going to have teams serving at her a lot. Tonight she is rising to the occasion.
Jazz Sweet, and the point to Penn State. And we talked about that today with Russ Rose, Taylor Leaf, and the burden that she has in serve receive. So many teams go after her. It's essentially 50% of the time in conference play, she's taken that first contact.
Right, it's a burden, and it's stamina too. You know, you have to think about all aspects of your game. You can't just be a hitter that gets subbed in the front row and not have any other responsibilities.
Lauren Stivrins is up to 12 kills now.
And she just takes this ball so powerful. You know, you can't always get back on transition, but what you want to do is make yourself available to be set so you can't get back, but she gets up and she takes that ball and just buries it in Penn State's court.
You see, she's almost at a double-double. She's only had 1 error tonight. Fecki, last one right at Lee.
Fecki didn't have much of a block in front of her. You're going to see Johnny Parker doesn't go up to block. The ball is set inside, so Parker's out of position. Fecki just takes advantage of that and just hammers it deep perimeter.
Timeout, Russ Rose. Nebraska by 7 in set 4 at home. Energy has not been lacking from the student section here in Lincoln, Nebraska. The Cornhuskers in set 4 gone on a run here. They're up by 7 on Penn State.
They're having a blast here tonight. Look at those moves. Wow.
How about the jacket? Where do you find that?
I have no idea.
Jacket or pants? I don't know what's better out of that combo.
Yeah. I think you can find those pajama pants pretty much anywhere.
Maybe when you're looking for your shoes that Russ Rose referenced.
That's right.
So here's the hitting percentage by set. We broke it down for the first meeting between these two 3 weeks ago. Here it is again tonight, and who has won each of these sets. .271 in set 1 for Penn State. That's the best for either team tonight in any of the 4 sets to this point. Nebraska trying to force a 5th set here at home. Miller serves. Johnny Parker. Haynes gets to it for Fecki along the net. Parker off the block, Miller digs it. And Penn State can't get to it. Nebraska's cooking in set 4.
Yeah, Megan Miller coming in off the bench and not only getting a good tough serve over the net, but look at the defensive get, sprawling out there, saving the point. That's what a good defensive player does. They come in and they make an immediate impact on their team.
10 digs tonight for the true freshman Miller. Nia Reed the kill. She's into double figures. 10 kills, 5 errors, and 52 swings, the most for Penn State.
Yeah, her arm is going to need some ice tonight, boy. 51 attempts on the ball. That's a lot of approaches and swings on the ball.
Both teams sitting below 150. Hampton. Good pass from Sun. Stivrins on the slide. Out of sync with Nicklin Hames.
Well, Stivrins wanted it fast. She was up, ready to go. You're going to see how she was flying on this approach. And actually, she thought the ball was going to be set in the gap between the blockers. And Hames put it all the way to the pin. But they're laughing about it, so they're okay. They'll regroup.
Sun takes it into a joust with Hames against Gorell. Sun digs it. Across to Fecky. Weiskercher tees up Parker. Stivrins got a piece of it, and so too did Hames. Fecky blasts it. And Fecky the kill.
Oh, Fecky with a bomb. Wow. But Hampton on Penn State's side of the net made a very courageous dig. Look at that save by the setter for Nebraska, Hames. But look at this swing. And she got all of that one. The second contact on Penn State's side of the net wasn't a very good one and actually knocked the ball out of bounds.
Blocked. Hames and Stivrins side by side.
A lot of people ask, what's better, getting a kill or getting a stuffed block? And I just think getting a stuffed block is huge. If that's your job, to deny the hitter across the net a point, and you can do it with an exclamation point like Stivrins is doing tonight, boy, it makes you feel good, and you can see how her team is getting jacked up.
She's got a career-high 10 blocks tonight, and she's got her first career double-double. Penn State gets a kill within 7.
Gorell going back to serve after getting a great kill for her team. See what she can do from the service line.
What she does is a service error. Brings us to set point for Nebraska. It's a double sub for Nebraska. Brooke Smith comes in to serve. And Sammy Slaughter's in the front row.
Now we'll see where Slaughter goes. I'm sure this is a blocking move. She's going to go to the left side.
Dug by Miller. Smith gives up the body. Fecky gets the free ball all the way over. Weiskercher to the middle, and it's in from Caitlin Horde. 13 kills.
Now let's take a look at this effort again. Even though they don't get the point, you feel like they are competing so hard every single point. And if you're a Nebraska fan, you've got to love that defensive effort, scrambling to keep the ball alive. Huge for Nebraska tonight.
Blossom. Pass from Fecky. Schwarzenbach off the mark. Lead dwindles to 6. Good pass from Maloney. Dug by Blossom. Bump set Maloney for Lexi Sun to end the set.
Lexi Sun's experience shows on that little roll shot right in front of the left back player for Penn State. Take a little bit of heat off the ball, but put it perfectly in the hole.
Nebraska was rolling in set 4. They take it by 7. The Huskers dancing their way into a 5th set in Lincoln right after this. Penn State and Nebraska have combined for 12 national titles. Tonight in Lincoln, they've alternated the first 4 sets. We go to a 5th set for the 2nd time this season between these two. This was 3 weeks ago, 5 sets at Rec Hall.
Yeah, and it was Penn State that won that one, but it was a battle, Mike. And we saw the best from Nia Reed at that critical time in the 5th set. Boy, she was hot. So we'll see if she emerges. But these Huskers here, you feel this urgency for them to get a W tonight. They want it so bad. So we'll see if they can come out. You know, as I was looking at the benches, both coaches, they're looking at their stat sheet. They're looking at percentages and trends. What can they expect from their opponent? How are they going to defend? The defense tonight has been really good on both sides of the net.
Speaking of defense, Michaela Fecky has been so good for Nebraska. Career high, she has shattered it with her 25 digs. And then on the other side, Taylor Leith, a double-double again.
Yeah, you know, you go to your leaders, and these two girls, they love pressure situations. They almost thrive on the pressure situations. This 5th set is all about guts. It's all about playing clean and having less unforced errors. So serve and pass is going to be huge. We saw Penn State struggle in the serving category. They've got to come out clean in this 5th set, serve aggressively, minimize their errors.
Weiskercher serves at Sun, and then Sun from the middle. Excellent placement.
Sun doing a very good job when she gets set that 2 ball in the middle. So you're going to see that she passes the ball. She's deep in the court, and there she finds herself one-on-one and able to just really swing hard to that left back corner.
Some of her best swings, right? Haven't
Absolutely.
been all the way out on the pins. Double-double for her as well. Weiskercher's back set to Nia Reed down the line, right at Maloney.
Weiskercher running along the net puts her hitter in a great opportunity to score. Let's take a look at the movement here from Weiskercher. Bends at the knees, grabs that ball, and just dishes it perfectly to that right side pin.
Balance has been the story in terms of kills on both sides. Each squad with 3 in double figures. Fecky. Kendall White has 26 digs tonight now. Hames to the middle for Schwarzenbach. Off the net, kept up. Hampton takes the free ball. Back set Parker for the kill. Boy, if Johnny Parker can get going late, that would be big for Penn State.
Well, yeah, and you know, Weiskercher does a good job again of getting that ball to the right side and getting Parker one-on-one. You're going to see here how she dishes it back so quickly. Her thumb's going under the ball as she's setting it. The release so quick gives her hitters a great opportunity to score.
Good pass from Maloney and a block. Garrell was matched up with Schwarzenbach.
Ball set a little low on Nebraska's side of the net. I feel like Hames took responsibility for that hitting error. She knows that she's got to keep her hitters confident, so she will say, hey, that's my fault, and I'll get you a better set next time.
4th error from Schwarzenbach. Fecky goes at Hampton.
And interesting, Hampton playing the left back area of the court. Kendall White, the bro, playing middle. Take a look at this. Strong, aggressive hit there. Fecky, so powerful.
Team high 13 kills for the All-American Michaela Fecky. Bumped by Sweet to Fecky. Weiskercher, a long set for Lee. Weiskercher to Parker. Bump set Hames, leaves it for Jazz Sweet. Parker denied, Michaela Fecky.
Well, as you're watching that play develop, you think Parker's going to get a kill because there was a lot of area for her to hit line. And then Fecky just reaches out. Look at that heads-up play. Arms way outside of her body line and just makes a very athletic move to save the point.
13 kills, 25 digs, 6 blocks for Michaela Fecky. Tip is down. Taylor Leith.
Leith saw all kinds of area right over top of the block. Nebraska's defense playing perimeter and deep down the line. And so she takes advantage. She sees the open area, places it perfectly right over top of that block.
Kristen Krause, a redshirt sophomore from Allentown, PA. She's in to serve. Comes from a Penn State family. Middle for Fecky.
Nebraska doing a great job offensively of changing up the look. You're going to see how Penn State's block gets tangled up. There's nobody here on Fecky, and she sees, I'm going to go hard cross court. Her shoulders, her feet, everything facing cross court because Penn State's block had released to the left side pin.
14 kills on 44 swings for Fecky. White with a good pass to Weiskercher. Horde from the middle completes the kill.
Wow, what a fifth set we have. Back and forth action. I really think it will come down to who is playing with the most guts, wanting to win this one. Got to be aggressive, yet composed.
Bump set from Hames, dug by Blossom. Hampton can't keep it in. Man, how good have these matches been between these teams the last couple years?
Yeah, it never disappoints when you see Penn State versus Nebraska. You're always in for a volleyball treat, and the fans here are loving every moment of this competitive match tonight.
Of course, Nebraska handed Penn State only 2 losses last year in an otherwise 33-win season. Hames sets Sivrins. Weiskercher to the middle. Fecky out of the back row. This is Michaela Fecky's house.
It's her house, and it is her night. Wow.
She's got a career high in digs. She has tied a career high with the 6 blocks, has done that a few times in her career. And she's got a team high and match high 16 kills. Nebraska by 2.
Lexi's son smiling out there, having a good time. Real critical point there. You want to be the first to 8 on the switch. It's kind of a psychological advantage. This crowd does not like the fact that Russ Rose came off the bench.
Fecky serves. Hames back set to Stivrins off the block, and it is Nebraska the first to 8. Nebraska lost to Illinois on Saturday. Afterward, Michaela Fecky said, "We're playing timid. We need to get rid of that, play fearless." She has done that tonight to lead Nebraska.
Oh, she absolutely is. She's displaying her ability in all aspects of the game, and she is a true competitor. She wants to win. This crowd loves her, and so far, she is the highlight of this Nebraska team coming through in all the critical moments here. She needs to finish out this 5th set for her team. She's on the service line right now.
An all-around effort for an All-American in Michaela Fecky. Penn State took sets 1 and 3. Nebraska took sets 2 and 4. Huskers by 3 in set 5. Trying to level the season series with a rival in Penn State. Another dig for Fecky all the way over. And Caitlin Horde scores for Penn State.
Well, Fecky had the dig. It's an overpass, though, and those are easy points. Horde just cleans up that ball. Comes over the net here. You're going to see swiping it to the side, to the middle of the court there. Celebrating with her team afterwards.
15 kills for Horde. She had 16 earlier in the season against Oregon. Ames pushes it out to Sun. Nia Reed, dug by Fecky. Sun. Fecky again. Sun for the kill.
A Sun with the kill after swinging about 3 times in that rally because Fecky was denying Penn State a kill, keeping the ball alive in that middle back area of the court. Take a look. It is so frustrating when you're a hitter and you're going for shots and somehow you're getting denied. Boy, Fecky, what a night she's having. Sun, big time, 13 kills so far tonight.
Penn State trouble passing it. Haynes sets Sun. Another point for Nebraska.
Sun has really turned things around. It's nice to see that competitive spirit that she has. She remained composed throughout the entire match. When she wasn't playing great, somehow she figured a way, she competed her way out of the pickle that she was in, and boy, she's coming on strong here in the 5th. Take a look at how she goes high off the blocker's hands. She's not going low seam on that one. High point of contact. It's an impossible ball for the backcourt defense to get when she wipes it high and out of bounds.
It's now a 6-1 Nebraska run.
But here's what I know about the game of volleyball. It's never over till it's over. Momentum shifts so quickly in this game. Penn State can get a strong side out and then go back and be aggressive from the service line. They can get a couple points here very quickly and turn this set around.
That being said, let's zoom out a little bit. What would a win here for Nebraska be?
Well, it would be huge because they've struggled a little bit, and it would be a huge confidence builder. They need this win, probably maybe even a little bit more than Penn State, if I would be so bold and say that. But, Penn State definitely wants this win. It would be great to win on the road, but Nebraska very desperate right now to right the ship. And, they just have to maintain that aggressive play, minimize their unforced errors. I would say tool the block as much as you can. Don't make the backcourt for Penn State a factor in this one.
These teams, of course, have combined for 9 of the last 12 national titles, as we've told you. What a matchup it's been tonight. Dug by Miller off the swing from Reed. Sun with a roll shot.
And they're all looking down at Megan Miller, the freshman at 5'6", hugging and embracing her because she had a great dig down the line. Take a look at that courageous play. That ball's coming at you so fast. Megan Miller finding a way to keep it alive for her team.
She had a career high as a freshman, 14 digs Saturday against Illinois. She got 13 more tonight. Hames sets Fecky out of the back row. Nebraska does get the call.
Defense wins championships. Defense is an attitude, and right now Nebraska serving aggressively, but it's that backcourt defense that is keeping them alive and right now frustrating Penn State hitters.
Second timeout used by Russ Rose. trying to find a way to slow down an 8-1 Nebraska run. Well, we told you that last time out, Nebraska had 99 digs. They've had 103 tonight, and their block has been great as well. 19 blocks.
Well, it's a unit. The blockers work in conjunction with the backcourt defense. And so even though the blockers aren't getting stuffed blocks, they're getting touches on the ball. And when they're not getting touches, they are trying to get hip to hip, which makes the backcourt defense a lot easier. It's so much easier when you have some predictable angles that the hitter is hitting. So, you know, right now Nebraska doing typical John Cook volleyball, blocking and digging really well, translating in good transition swings for points.
And how about what you said earlier this set about Lexi Sun? Someone who had some errors piling up early on. In this set, she has 5 kills.
Yeah, so that's a sign of a true champion in my mind, because you're not always going to have your A game displayed. So what happens? What kind of player are you going to be? Are you going to have the courage to kind of work your way out of it? And that's exactly what I've seen from Lexi Sun in this match. She has really picked up her game and, you know, not been too rattled with the errors. It all comes down to this 5th set. It doesn't matter how you played in sets 1, 2, 3, 4. This is when it matters. So go up there and get some points. Swing hard.
Double-double for the former #1 recruit in the country. Weiskercher sets the middle. Block number 20 for Nebraska.
Lexi Sun coming all the way from the left side. She helped with that, helped block in the middle, and she is all smiles. Take a look at how she adjusts her placement there. That is great team defense, great blocking.
Stivrins off the tape. A service ace to bring up match point. Can Nebraska come back from all the way down 2 sets to 1? Penn State not done just yet. 7-point margin. Kendall White. Good pass from Maloney. Schwarzenbach on the slide is blocked. She was matched up with Nia Reed.
So Penn State just showing competitive spirit here. Nia Reed, it's a huge block for her, keeping her team alive in this 5th set.
White again. Lexi Sun. White digs it again. Here's Reed. Dug by Maloney. Hames sets Sun. That's it! Nebraska in 5 sets.
The place is going wild. They love this team. They love the fight that this team has shown tonight against a very talented Penn State team. Nebraska wins the 5th.
They close out set 5 on an 11-3 run. It was even right out of the gates here in set 5, and John Cook and company get a huge win. Let's go through match point once again.
Great defense again, Kenzie Maloney. But then Lexi Sun, a well-needed, well-timed kill from her, just going hard off the blocker's hands and out of bounds. And the celebration afterwards, take a look at that. I think the girls smacked heads, they were so excited.
All right, we welcome in the star tonight for Nebraska, the All-American Michaela Fecke. And Michaela, from the moment this match started, you guys brought the energy and the hustle. Can you describe the team effort tonight?
you know, we just went all out and we played with nothing to lose. And Penn State, we went there and we played really hard, but we weren't able to finish it. And so I'm just really proud of my teammates and the effort they put forth tonight.
Michaela, your leadership on the court is undeniable. In every single stat category, you were stellar. What'd you think of your performance tonight?
It was okay. I think there's always areas you can get better at, and definitely kills that I left out there that we could have got and balls that we could have dug. But overall, I mean, we played good enough to win, and that's what counts right now.
You're exactly right. At this time of the season, Michaela, what does this win mean for you guys trying to build on it going forward?
It means a ton. I mean, I think this is our first top 10 win in Big Ten Conference, and so I think to win now, coming at the end of the season, it just shows that we're still progressing and still getting better, which is obviously what you want to do.
Michaela, thanks so much for the time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Nebraska and Michaela Fecky get it done. We'll take some better adjectives. She was outstanding tonight all over the court for these Cornhuskers to get the win, Audrey.
She absolutely was. She did everything that her team wanted. This place loves her, and rightfully so. All-American arm, All-American defense, All-American type blocker. Doesn't get much better than Michaela Fecky.
You heard it straight from Fecky. It's a big win for Nebraska, knocking off number 7 to get their 8th Big Ten win. The Cornhuskers now 8-5 in conference play. Penn State, number 7, falls to 9-4 in the conference.